Hi folks, just a quick video. So I went down to the coffee morning and yeah, I bumped into Dave Ellaby and I was talking to him about the fact that I'd sent messages to the pastor about prayer and about the fact that if you think the point of God sending his son was about salvation, then you think prayers are about that. If you think the point of God sending his son was about the church, then you think prayer is about that. If you think the point of God sending his son was about relationship with the Father, then prayer is about relationship with the Father. What you think the point is changes everything. And I was talking about the church, saying, yeah, I'm not judging people in the church, but yeah, the church won't have revival. It won't get better. It is what it is. It will never get better than it is right now, because yeah. Well, he didn't like that. He thought I was judging. I said, look, read the word of God. I said, you can understand. If we're in the last days, if the Antichrist is going to be in charge, how can he be in charge if the church has done a good job? Or if the church is doing a good job, how can the Antichrist have power over the whole world if the church in America, the church in Europe, the church in Africa is doing a good job? If they've been revived and they're doing things according to God, I'm pretty sure they would be saying, Antichrist, sod off. I said, also, look in the Word of God. If the church was doing well at the end, why would it be in the Bible saying you can't have the 666 and God's mark as well? Because obviously, people in church, or people actually of God, were thinking maybe they should do that. Have the 666. They can buy things. So are they being led by God or the world? If they're thinking they might have the 666 mark, then obviously they're being led by the Antichrist, not by God. Well, that's the first time I've been talking about that for years and years and years and years. So again, when I was talking to Dave, I didn't know I'd be talking about that at all. I think that was God choosing what the point of the talk. So therefore, yeah, interesting. Yeah, then I met a young lady. Well, I say a young lady, I don't know. She's from Lavia, something like that. She was interesting. You know, I talked to her for about 20 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. She's leaving to go to her country soon, so will I see her again? Probably not. No. So therefore, I wish her well, but there you go. Yeah. And I spoke to the person who welcomes people to that thing as well, because he said, well, I talked to that woman just before we finished talking. Actually, we finished already, but she said, can we sit down? Straight away, she went to someone else. And anyway, he said, oh, can I join you? I said, yeah. So I was talking to him about the church and the end and other things. Yeah. It was interesting because again I wasn't talking about everything that God has been telling me for the last 3 years. It was different. Because normally I talk about what's on the car. Because, or basically talk about how to walk as a son and that sort of stuff. Oh, the woman, I was talking to her about some of the things on the car and how to walk. Because she was saying she went to this church because she thought maybe it would more spiritually and praying for people and be more, holy. I said no. I said basically I don't think they actually pray for people most of the time. I said I talked to the pastor and he says they don't do it anymore. So therefore, I said if you want to know, don't look at the church, look at the Father. Go to him. Because he knows more than the church. So go to the Father. That will help you more than going to the church. So there you go. I wish you well. Enjoy. Bye bye.